Touch here with another Game Maker Studio tutorial. Yeah, I switched to Studio because I thought, hey, why not? And most of you guys are using Studio instead of the old Game Maker 8.1. So I thought, let's create a project in Studio. And this is going to be our Pokemon project. And I'm going to show you what happens when you launch the game. The file will be in the description, so you can just download it and follow along. So this is the intro, and when you hit enter or Z, you will just go to the main menu. And what happens when you load the game? Nothing will happen. You will hear a button being clicked, but nothing happens. When you start the game, I don't think, no. Because I set an alarm somewhere. And it'll go to the next room, so... we should probably do this. I'll adjust this in the new compressed file. So if alpha 2 is 1, then yeah, I'm sorry guys. So this will be good. I'm just gonna explain to you what is in the code, what is actually where, and what will execute what. So now we go to the next room, and we will meet Professor Birch here. This is all pretty nice, and then we keep the text here, and we can use our Z. And if we keep pressing Z, the text will just go faster. And this is what we call a Pokemon. I'm just gonna show you how to do this. And you can choose between a boy or a girl. Great, man. And I'm just gonna choose a boy, of course. Alright, and then it will go to the next room, which we have not yet created, but we will later. So in the object intro control, it's basically gonna show the animation, stuff like that. It's not really. It will, yeah, it will it will execute the intro, and the background image will be shown, stuff like that. And when you hit Z, or I guess it's Z, X, or enter, then you will go to the next stage, or the next room, the main menu, instead of the intro room. And what is here? Main menu. Right. So here we can switch between our different new game and load game image indexes, which are here. Main menu. So this is image 0, image 1, and so you can select which one you want to execute, new game or a loaded game. Later on we will load and save games, but we can't really start a game yet, so there's nothing to save. But we will show you. Well, I will show you that later in the later episodes. So this is our main game engine room, and here is an object called dialog 1. And in dialog 1, this is where it gets interesting, because the text that is drawn in the text box is actually generated, or not generated, I mean it's in a 2D array, and we will just loop through this 2D array so we can draw letter by letter what the text says. So these are the alphas of the sprites. Well, it's in the description, so yeah. I think this is all clear what this does. I mean, draw professor is true, then it will draw the professor, otherwise it won't draw the professor. That's pretty logic, I think. So in the step event, it's just gonna adjust the alpha, stuff like that, and we're gonna, yeah, where to start? Well, right, so this is the text box. If the text box is true, so that is decided by an alarm I set in the creation event. I don't think it's alarm 0, no, it's alarm 2 then. Yeah, so in alarm 2 the drawbacks is draw text box is true, and when it's true you can it will set a string variable. It will compare it with the string length of our text. So in the creation event I set str, variable str, to 0, and it will check if it is smaller than the string length of our text. So if str is 0, then it will always be smaller than our text, unless we do this, you know? But that's not the case here. So it will always say str plus 0.5, because it always starts off with 0. If 0 is smaller than the string length, which is always true, then it will str plus 0.1. And next, if the str is greater or equal as the string length, so that means if it has reaches the end, if the total text is drawn, if the entire sentence is drawn, then it will say draw skip is true. And what will draw skip do? Let's see, where is it? If draw skip is true, yeah, that's in the draw event. So if draw skip is true, then it will draw our sprite skip text, which is this little thing here. See? Which will indicate that you are able to skip the text by pressing Z. I think it's pressing C. Yeah, because if you then press Z on your keyboard, then it will say t plus equals 1, and the str starts at 0 again. So that means that we are going to our next text, and nothing is drawn, so it will draw the entire text again, because str is 0, and it will always check if 0 is smaller than the string length, which is always true, so it will draw the text again. And draw skip is false, because we don't want to draw our sprite skip text thing anymore. And then we are going to play an audio, which is a sound button 2, which will just say pling. And if t is 14, then the professor won't be drawn, because in t is 14, I'm going to show you, t is 14, we are going to say, are you a boy or are you a girl? So you can choose between a boy and a girl. You can choose a gender. So that means that choose gender is true. See, if t is 14, then choose gender is true. So what will happen then is we can switch with our arrow keys between a gender, between a boy and a girl. So image gender is 1 and image gender is 0, which is here. Sprite choose gender. So that means, if I'm gonna grab our step event here, so that means that if I press down, then it will go to the first image, which is a girl. So I press from here, I press down key, and it will show this sprite. When I press up again, then it will show this sprite again. So we can choose between a boy and a girl. Then if I press Z or enter, or you can adjust that yourself, then it will just show the other text again. It will set the str to 0 back again, and the global gender variable is the same as image gender at that point. So that means that if image gender is 1, then the global gender variable is going to be 1, which will be indicated as a girl. So if it's 0, it will be indicated as a boy. So we can use this global variable later in other rooms in the entire game So we can say if global gender is 0, then do the boy stuff, you know? And it's gonna play an audio sound, same as button 2. And the choose gender is gonna be false because we don't want this to be drawn anymore. And this will just make sure that the text is drawn in a string copy, and then the text variable 0str. And I think this is all pretty clear. Just created a darker color and a light color to create a shadow behind our text. And oh yeah, the font. I used a FT Pokémon 30 here, and you can find it here. And I used Pokémon Emerald. When you go to your file, you just download it. It should something. Whoa, that's the wrong one. It should look like Game Maker Pokémon. It should look like this. When you go to fonts, and you can find this Asian letter type here. You can click it and you can install it. After that, you can just select Pokémon Emerald, and that's it. Next, the alarms. Alarm 4 is not really interesting. I think alarm 4 will execute our go to the next room. So it should go to next room. But we don't have a room yet, so we don't need to do that. Alright, let's see, where does this come from? This is image index. Image index, I think it's from Prof.BIRCH. Yeah, Prof.BIRCH has a sprite, and it has a there's an animation on it, and this animation will be executed within our alarm 3 alarm 3 event, I guess. Whoa, what's going on? Great, man. Alarm 3? Yeah, alarm 3. Alright. And it will just loop through an animation which will draw the Pokemon. It will show a Pokeball, then it will open the Pokeball, and it will show the Lepud. I think this is Lepud. Right. So, yeah. It will just show the first image of the Pokeball, then it will execute the alarm again. Then it will show the open Pokeball. It will wait half a second. It will wait half a second, and then it will just enable the entire animation. Great. So in alarm, in the creation event, I set an alarm 0 to be 120, which will loop through a sound, which is the main theme, and it has a loop. So the audio will execute or be played. The audio will be played, yeah. And what happens that T is 13 and not image index is 19? That means that it will enable the animation of Prof.BIRCH calling his Lepud out of his Pokeball. Yeah. So I hope that you can find your way through this, and we will start a awesome tutorial, and we will create our player and stuff like that, and we can walk around the world. But first I gotta create the world, so I'm gonna do that right now, and I hope to see you soon.
Oh, hey, Pikachu, I choose you! Go!
Pikachu!
Pikachu uses Thunderbolt!
Pika-Pee! Big Ow!
Venusaur, oh no, counterattack with whatever you feel like, man.
Wait, hold on, what? Venusaur with a question mark.